Welcome to Midway Minute, everybody. My name is Scott Koral. He is Kevin Kaduk. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button so you can see us all the time there. And then head on over to the website, midwayminute.win, and sign up for the newsletter. Kevin, we're talking about a Bears team that is now 5-1 and heading out to LA to take on the Rams. Long story short, is this a playoff team?
I think it is, right? So you've got 7 teams that are going to make it this year. It's a 14-team field. It's usually 12. That obviously opens a lot of doors. They're the second best team in the NFL right now. Seattle is the only one in front of them in terms of record, and you've got a weak NFC East. There's only one team that begrudgingly is going to have to come out of that. Yeah, they could collapse, but I don't see it. I mean, even for the Bears, it would take a crazy collapse for them not to make the playoffs.
Well, that just so happened the last time that they were 5-1, that was 2012.
Yeah,
they ended up starting 7-1 and then limped to the finish, going 3-5, ending the year at 10-6, and did miss the playoffs that year.
Yeah,
we're talking about a tough stretch right here. You've got obviously the Rams right now, the Saints next week. You've got the Packers coming up. The Titans are before that. So we've got a pretty tough stretch.
Well, I think that Carolina Panthers win was really important for them to get to 10 wins, which would get them in this year for sure. Lovie Smith got to 10 wins and it ended up costing him his job that year, which was probably not fair for Lovie. But you had to beat Carolina. This Rams game is important. I don't think it's a must win, but you've got this run of the Rams, the Saints, and then the Titans. You got to get at least one of 3 there. Otherwise, you're looking. You drop all 3, you're at 5-4. Then things get a little bit hairy.
Well, the Bears are now also a 3-0 road team heading to LA. So that's a kind of a good thing too, because the last time they were a 3-0 road team, they went to the Super Bowl.
I can't decide if that's an impressive thing or not in the pandemic year, right? Because one, you're not playing in front of fans, so you do have a little bit easier on atmosphere on the road. But at the same time, there's a lot more, I guess, kind of stress that goes with traveling during a pandemic. Even though you're going private, you're going into hotels and traveling with a lot of people. So there's a lot associated with that, I think, as the baseball teams can attest. So I don't know, what do we do? Call it a wash?
Of course you could. Mainly because the Rams, here's the thing, the Rams are not, they are 4-2, but they are not what some may think is a 4-2 team. They are 4-0 against the NFC East. The ones that you just mentioned that are, 2-4-1, things like that. They're 4-0 against the NFC East, 0-2 against everybody else. So where do we see the Rams coming up here? Because they are one of the best defenses in the NFL right now.
So I think the Rams were a fashionable pick to rebound this year. Obviously, they went through the Super Bowl losers curse that the Niners are currently going through. I had them going into that Niners game. I really thought that was going to be a walk. I probably put maybe a little too much money on the Rams, so I'm not too happy with Sean McVay right now. They didn't look all that great that game. Jared Goff is not a great quarterback. Sean McVay, I didn't think had a great game plan against that Niners defense, which is just as depleted as the Carolina one that the Bears just took down. So I really, don't know too much what to expect from this Rams team. I thought they would be better last week. I don't know how they're going to come out against the Bears. I'm glad the Bears defense is playing well because I think they can really make a lot of noise against Jared Goff and his receivers.
Well, you mentioned that. That's actually a good segue to where we need to go next. Jared Goff in his last 2 meetings against the Bears. Now, granted, he is 1-1 in those contests, but he has not thrown a touchdown against the Bears since 2018.
Yeah.
He's 0 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And granted, neither team has scored a lot. Last year, it was 17-7 Rams. The year before that, it was 15-6 Bears. All told, that's 45 points. That's less than what the over-under is, or at least how it opened for this game.
You got to like that under. I can't believe that TV schedule makers, after putting these 2 teams in prime time the last 2 years and getting those 2 stinkers, 2 stinkers on prime time, then went back to that saying, well, I understand the market size. Both teams probably draw, even though, the Rams aren't gigantic like the Lakers or Dodgers are in LA. But yeah, I don't know. I am not really expecting on this being a high scoring game, nor a particularly thrilling one.
Well, and that's a testament to the defenses here. We are talking about, as I mentioned, two of the best defenses in the NFL. The Bears are first, second, or third in a lot of categories. The Rams are really no lower than fourth or fifth in a lot of those same categories. They still have Aaron Donald, who leads the NFL with 7.5 sacks, but I bet you he has some motivation. He has never once in his career sacked Nick Foles. He has that chance this time. That's
pretty crazy, yeah. So I love watching Aaron Donald play. Obviously, I don't want to see him sack Nick Foles at all this game, but he's just a generational player. To see him work has been pretty crazy, and you could say the same thing about Khalil Mack. I'm sure Khalil Mack wants to get after Jared Goff. So it's going to be a defensive battle. What do you think the score is going to be?
Okay. So as I've been doing, I've been picking against the Bears, and they've been winning. So I have to do it again.
Probably have to keep with it, right? Yeah.
I have to do it again. So for this one, I'm going to go Rams 17, Bears 13. Just realize I'm doing this for the greater good.
Okay. So the Midway Minute newsletter, we have a picks panel, about 6 to 7 people. We do it every week. And it usually tilts one way or the other. Everyone's on board with the Bears. One person will be, against the opponent, or it'll flip-flop. Really feel like, I haven't seen the picks yet this week. I really feel like it's going to be divided, pretty evenly. I think the Rams take this out. I mean, the Bears have had a great run, but I still don't, we haven't seen what we need to see from that offense. So until Nick Foles could really produce against a top-level defense, I'm going to go with the Rams, and I like that 17 to 13 pick, so I think I'm going to go right behind you and be a copycat. Rams 17, right. Bears 13.
Fair enough. So thank you guys for watching. Remember, head on over to the website, midwayminute.win, sign up for the newsletter, and we will see you guys on Monday night.